When we're talking about mass gain, the goal is to add as much muscle density and thickness to the entire body. But one specific area that many people lack that'll actually give you the appearance of looking even bigger than you already are is the traps, middle back, and lumbar, or the overall thickness of the entire back. I'm a prime example of this. At just 190 pounds to 195 pounds, many people confuse me of being 205 to 215 pounds. And one body part that I've been specifically asked about recently is my traps. And the trap specifically is a body part that I take a different approach than most do. The traps are a muscle of the upper back, and they assist in many of the pulling movements and shoulder movements that you do. So many people take this idea and they apply it to their training by just doing a few extra sets of shrugs at the end of back day or at the end of shoulder day. So what I do is dedicate a specific training session to all deadlift variations as well as shrugs. This is, in my opinion, the ultimate combination for overall back thickness and massive traps. So let's jump into exactly how I structure this workout for myself as well as my clients. I personally always start this session off with a deadlift variation that fits my specific goals. For me right now, that's the RDL. The Romanian deadlift is by far the most bodybuilding specific deadlift variation. It allows for full range of motion, a full stretch of the entire posterior chain, and allows for slow and controlled eccentric loading in the fully stretched position. These are all key for building muscle. And if you perform this movement correctly, you should feel an extreme pump from all the way from the traps all the way down to the hamstrings. Because of the deep stretch forward and the need to stabilize the body in the entire movement, the traps also get a huge amount of stimulation, keeping the body stabilized. But like any other muscle group, the traps need a full range of motion to be fully stimulated. So immediately after my working sets of RDLs, I'll also program in some barbell shrugs with slightly lighter weights and higher reps. Now the key to this movement is to get a deep stretch in the bottom position and a huge contraction in the shortened position. In order to accomplish this, I personally fully stretch the arms with a locked out elbow position. And then I pull my elbows out as I shrug up. This allows me to not only pull my elbows upwards, but inwards towards the body. And if you're somebody who has trouble connecting with shrugs, I highly recommend you give this variation a try. But that's not it for the workout after those two movements. I'll then go on to hit RDLs with a dumbbell variation and shrugs with dumbbells as well. The dumbbells offer a unique benefit that you just can't get with a barbell. On a barbell lift, because the weight is attached to the bar, which is out in front of you, the movement will naturally pull you forward with increased tension on the lower back. This isn't a problem if form is tight, but you also want to take advantage of performing the movement more centered, which dumbbells allow for, as you're keeping them outside of the body rather than in front. This shifts the tension in a more upright position, and this allows you to hit the upper back and hamstrings a bit more. And the combination of these two movements allows for all the benefits of hip hinge movements without neglecting any of the other variables. The same holds true for the dumbbell shrugs. You can overload the traps with a ton of weight on the barbell, but again, because it's pulling you forward, you're now limited to the strength of your lower back to stabilize your entire body. When you switch over to the dumbbells, you're not going to be using as much weight, but now you can perform a much greater range of motion with a full stretch and a full contraction. So if you're someone who's looking to bring up the thickness of the upper back, traps, and entire posterior chain, I would personally program all four of these exercises into one workout, which is what I personally feel is the ultimate workout for the upper back and traps. And if you guys are looking to add more mass to your entire physique, I highly recommend incorporating these four movements into your training. And if you're looking for the exact sets, reps, exercises, and routine that I use to build my physique using proven old school bodybuilding training methods, I highly recommend you check out my 5-day old school mass gain program in the description below. And as always, if you guys want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.